Welcome to DWBIADDA channel. Please subscribe for latest training videos.
Hi everyone, today we are going to discuss about Azure Function. Azure Function is a solution for easily running small piece of code or function in the cloud without worrying about the whole application or the infrastructure to run it. So Azure Function can make development even more productive, and you can choose your development language of your choice. If you are a Java developer, you can go and use your Java as a programming language, or a C# or PowerShell or Python. So coming to the features of an Azure function, the choice of language, and the main thing is you will be paying only for the time spent for running your code. That is a pay per use pricing model. And you can able to integrate the Azure function to protect the HTTP trigger function with various OAuth providers such as Azure Active Directory, Facebook, Google, Twitter, and Microsoft account. And mainly it's an open source. You can see the function runtime open source code available on the GitHub. So let's go into the portal.azure.com and see what we can do with an Azure function. So let me go into the portal.azure.com. So I'm here in the portal.azure.com. I'm going to create an Azure function. So let me click on this create resource and search for the function app. So if you see that there is a function app and a function app classic version. The classic version is the older version. So I'm going to use the function app. So it gives me an overview page and a documentation and pricing details and solution overview and the plan details as well. So I can go and create a brand new function app. So as you see that I have a valid subscription to create a function. I have a pay-as-you-go subscription. I'll be going to create a new resource group for this function app. So let me name it as function RG. And it will expect a name for your function app name. So let me go and name this my first function app. Let me name it as my first function. And if you see that publish, you can use a code or a Docker container and the runtime. So when we discuss about the choice of language, you see that there are different programming languages are supported like PowerShell, Java, Python, Node.js. So in my case, I'm just going to select the .NET Core as my runtime. And I'm going to select the region as East US. So let me review this. So review, and once the review is being validation is being succeeded, the create button will be enabled and I will be going to create this function app. If you see my validation is being succeeded, before going into the create option, let me discuss about the hosting and monitoring option over here. I didn't make any change on here. I keep by default. So basically it is using a storage account. So if you see that it is trying to create a new storage account, when creating a function app, you must create or link to a general purpose Azure storage account that support the blob, queue, and table storage. So by default, it is going to create a new storage account. If you have an existing storage account, you can go and select that storage account. And if you see here in the hosting, it's an operating system. The operating system has been recommended for your based on the selection of runtime stock. So in my case, I selected .NET Core. .NET Core will support in Linux or in a Windows. If you are going to select an ASP.NET, then you can't select a Linux as an operating system. So if you are a Java or a Python, it very much support in Linux and Windows. So let me go with the Windows operating system. And you can see the plan. So the plan is a consumption base. A plan you choose distinct how your app scales when features are enabled and how it's been praised. So if you see here, we have a consumption plan, premium, and an app service plan. So I'm going with the consumption plan. And if you see in the monitoring tab over here, by default, Microsoft is enabling the application insight. So we discuss about this application insight when we create an app service, right? Application insight is going to help you to monitor your function app. So let me go and keep this enabled, and it's creating an application insight in the East US location. So if you have an existing application insight, you can bring that onto here. You see, I have already have an application inside running in the central US. If you are interested, I can take that application inside to reuse this. So let me review this again and go and create this function. So you see my validation has been succeeded. I'm going to create this function. And if you see, my deployment is being completed successfully now. So let me go into that resource group which I created, and it's in a function RG. So let me go into the function RG and see what all the resources created for this function app. So if you see here, it create a function app and it create an application inside and a storage account and an app service plan, right? So everything is being created into the East US location. So and everything is logically grouping into this resource group. So let me go into this my first function. So I am here in the overview page of this Azure function app. If you see that it's provide an URL to access your function, and it is in the East US location, and you can see my app service plan is a consumption base. And you can see a platform feature tab over here. There you can see your networking SSL, or if you want to add a custom domain for this function, you can go and add, and log stream and other kind of monitoring features you can able to view in the platform feature tab. So let me go into the overview page and go and create a first function. So let me go and create and add new function. So in the new function, if you see that we can go and create a function using a Visual Studio or a VS Code. VS Code is an open source from Microsoft for a light code editor, or you can use any editor with a core tool. So in my case, I'm just going in the portal to create this Azure function. Later on, I will show how we can create an Azure function using a VS Code. So let me go into the portal and select and continue. And if you see that it gives 3 templates and a webhook plus API, a function that will run whenever it receives a HTTP request, or a timer is a function that will run on a specific schedule. Or you can go and select a template that is being provided by Microsoft. There are n number of templates that is available in the Microsoft portal. So let me go finish and view the templates. So if you see that there are n number of templates here, you can go and use a HTTP trigger, or a time trigger, or an Azure storage trigger, or an Azure best queue trigger, and if you have an Azure blob storage. So function is a great solution for processing data, integrating system, working with an Internet of Things, and building sample APIs and microservice. So you can see a number of templates over there. You can go and select some templates based upon your requirement. So in my case, I'm just going with an HTTP trigger. So let me select this HTTP trigger and go and create this function. So if you see that authentication level, so I'm keeping it in the function. So you can put anonymous or an admin as well. So let me go and create this HTTP trigger. This function will run whenever it receives an HTTP request or response based on the data in the body or in the query string. So let me, my HTTP trigger function is been creating. So if you see here, my HTTP trigger 1 function is been created. And if you remember, I select .NET Core as my runtime stack. So by default, it provides a task to run a C# code. I can go and save this task, and I can even go and run this function. And if you see this function app, it is a very simple function app. It is a HTTP trigger function app. It will be expecting a name in a query string and appending a hello and return into this function app. And you can run this function app from here and see whether everything is looking good or and fine. So we can go and run this function app, and we can see that log here itself. and you can see the files, what all the files you can using in this function app. You can see an run.csx and a function JSON file. And if you want to add a new file, you can go and add it on here in the new file. And you can see a test file to test this function app, and you can see there is an URL to get this function. Let me go and get the URL of this function, and I have already have an extension of Postman. So this is a kind of API to test this function app. So this function URL, I have a Postman. I'll be going into the Postman, and basically this is a GET request. I'm putting the GET request. So let me name it as function app. So let me go into the GET request and paste this function app URL here, and basically it is expecting a name over here. What you are providing the name, it will be going to append that with your function app URL. So let me go and name it as Azure function. So let me go and send this. So into the return you will be getting an hello Azure function. So within no time we will create a function. So this function is going to act as an API for you, and you can go and run this function and you can retrieve the sample value over there. So that's all about this Azure function app. It's an introduction session about the function app. So in an upcoming video we will see more Azure functions. Thank you.